Hello, as you can probably tell by the Christmas tree, the slightly dodgy lighting that always seems to come with winter and the fact that you live in the present day, it's almost Christmas and I decided to make a small video, not based on any board games at all, but rather one that just rounded off the year as a whole and told you what to expect from Dicey Exploits in 2016. Would have had a fire going, but we don't own a fireplace. That doesn't seem like a big deal, but we live in Sussex, so technically we're breaking the law there. Sorry for the frequent use of jump cuts here, by the way, but I'm having trouble stringing a sentence together at the moment, mainly because for a few minutes I'll be dropping my stage persona, and not because this mug here is filled with whiskey, I swear. So firstly, the channel's still going to be here. I'm talking in a kind of somber way, like it's going to die a death, but don't worry, throughout 2016 I'll be doing the same stuff, try and get board game reviews up every Monday, but also something to do with video games. I'm actually trying to get in the video game industry right now, and it's quite difficult and everything. And I've kind of been leaving them behind, which doesn't seem like a logical thing to do, really. I know there are a lot of people on YouTube that talk about video games. It's not entirely original, but it's still something I want to delve into because I don't want to give anyone the impression that tabletop games are on one level and video games are on another, because that's simply not what I believe. The reason why I focus mainly on tabletop titles is, one, the name of the channel, which still works, I guess, in a way, if you do video games. But secondly, it's because I kind of miss the days where you'd sit on a sofa and play video games with your friends rather than over a network. So the broadband, the monster, has killed that element that I truly adore. But nowadays it's not truly about that and stuff. So I want to implement that, if you want to, into the channel in some way, which I think will be nice. I'm not trying to slag off video games there, I'm just trying to say I miss multi-taps. Especially the PlayStation 1 ones, because they doubled as boomerangs as well. So the second message and final one is a fair bit more personal. I haven't been having the greatest of times at the moment. Partly due to personal issues, which this is not the place to discuss those, and partly due to job applications. Again, I'm trying to get into a competitive industry and sending all those out and getting refusals and stuff like that, not entirely on the basis that you're not good enough, but simply due to luck in some cases and constantly facing rejection. It sucks, and it's very, very easy to get anyone down. I'm pretty sure in this market a lot of you can sympathise with that. And in between job applications, Dicey Exploits is essentially what keeps me busy. The process can be a little bit of a nightmare. I edit on a 4-year-old computer, I film on an iPad, and I edit on Windows Movie Maker. Somebody's going to crucify me for that one. And throughout the entire process, it's kind of a love-hate relationship, really, because running through my head is it's going to be good. It all boils down to, and that doesn't just go for me, that goes for anyone in any creative industry whatsoever making anything. It's a process. So to see you enjoy what I'm putting out there, or to see just one steady number rise in any statistic field, or even when you have criticism, everyone who's given me criticism has been so constructive. Whenever I receive any of that or see any of that, it does make me feel a little bit giddy inside. This isn't a video where I'm trying to emotionally blackmail you into liking, commenting, subscribe, but if you wanted to, I wouldn't complain. I'm just saying that in any way that you give support, it's genuinely appreciated. I can't give shout outs to a million different followers and supporters and stuff like that, because, well, the channel is quite small, but I honestly don't mind that. If it became bigger in some way, I could deal with it. I'd be happy, but I'm humble. I like humble pie. It actually tastes quite good. Don't know why I get such a bad rap. But I didn't want to make this video about me. I don't want to come across as really arrogant. I think this goes out to anyone creating anything in any regard, and anyone who's watching that process go by. If you see someone creating something that it looks like you're going to adore, essentially, or even just like, say something. Just a tiny little thing, because it lifts my spirits, and must do to so many others. And it seems so obvious, but we live in a time where so many armchair critics can sit behind their screens and spit out the most vile diatribe about things they're not making, or things they could do better, or things that somebody else is getting wrong. And I mean, surely if I reel back when I scroll through my Kickstarter comments at a project I backed, at some of the things that are said, that must emotionally scar the people actually making them. And ultimately, that's going to affect the product you get at the end of the day. So, surely if you say nicer things, then you'll get a better thing out of it. Obviously, people already do this, but I'm quite quiet online, and I should really start getting a voice that's half decent. But if people like me said more nice things, then it's naive. But hopefully, it would outweigh the negative, and yeah, we'd get better stuff from it. And also, whenever I hear that people are laughing with or at me whenever they watch my videos, I genuinely appreciate it either way, because um, in a time where ISIS are a thing and quality street tins are getting smaller, and a man who genuinely wants to fuck his own daughter is a good candidate for becoming ruler of one of the most powerful countries in the world, it's hard to get a chuckle out of people these days. So this isn't to me, this is to anyone doing comedy. Like, flipping out your job right now. Just... Anyway, the long and short of it is, thank you. But if I had truly done my job correctly throughout the year, then you wouldn't have the time to get to this point of the video, because you'd be spending it on some awesome games. All that's left for me to say is Happy Christmas. I genuinely mean it. And yeah, despite my really pessimistic, narcissistic ways, have a really good 2016, because I feel like it's going to be a good one. So I feel like a bit of a fraud because I haven't recommended any games for Christmas, and although that wasn't the purpose of this video, I feel like I should do at least two. The first one being, if you like your family, Dobble. It's essentially 5 games in one. It's a tenner around here. It's quite easy to get hold of. And it's essentially Snap. But to say that does it such a huge disservice. I should really do a proper video on it. It's a small game, it's tiny, and it deserves a full 10-minute episode to it. If, however, you hate your family, Dark Moon. It's a hidden traitor game where a number of you are trying to screw over everyone else, and there is a hell of a lot of shouting and screaming. If you're me anyway, and if it does its job well, which it should, you wouldn't have to talk to any members of your family for the rest of the day, maybe even the month. So yeah, it's effective. There we go. Merry Christmas.